you know, a family business where they do the dry cleaning right there on site, right? Why? Their machines were more efficient, but they had to pay rent on all these little tiny, tiny dry cleaning offices, and they had to pay for drivers, vans, and gasoline. You can write over there if you run out of space. That's very pretty. Okay.
I'm writing things on that board to go with the video.
Oh, to go with the video. Okay.
Like little down signs or
Upsides or down signs. Okay. All right, let's see. Inefficiencies of scale means that it becomes less efficient as the company becomes bigger. So, for example, over here, we have a situation where as we produce more quantity, it becomes more efficient. And then there aren't any efficiencies or inefficiencies. And then we get to a certain size where, once again, it becomes inefficient the bigger the company becomes. Okay? Okay, so let's look at something called a natural monopoly, which we will be learning about very soon. A natural monopoly is an industry where the costs get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, but never quite touch the axis, right? So long run average total cost becomes basically asymptotic, right? It never touches, but it never touches the axis, but it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. That is what we call a natural monopoly. We're going to learn about monopolies soon enough.
Monopoly? I like that game.
That's a fun game, Monopoly. So, we're going to be talking about this, but basically, in some industries, this can occur. The best example, I think, is Microsoft. When they have only one customer, the average cost is quite high, but as they produce more and more and more and more and more, the average cost gets very, 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 very small. And I talked about this with you a bit when I talked about average fixed cost, how that becomes asymptotic. Well, some companies that have a lot of fixed costs, like Microsoft, are actually natural monopolies. The biggest company, if you've got two companies competing, you've got company one, quantity one, and you've got company two, quantity two. The biggest company will always be able to price lower than the smaller company. And so the bigger company will always be able to outcompete and run other people out of business. So they will be a monopoly. They will be the only one. So there you go. When we get to that topic, we will talk about what do we do with a monopoly like that? How do we deal with it? But that's a topic for another day.